Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Life and Homes podcast. This is your host, Mike Bova, and returning one of our favorites, Rebecca Cavalieri. Rebecca, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So it's been a couple of weeks since we've done a session. This is session number 3. How are things going? What's new? I know the NAR Department of Justice lawsuit got settled for like $418 million or something like that. So what's the outcome of that like for real estate agents?
Yeah, so they're telling us that nothing's really going to be changed or updated here until the summer. A couple of months ago, they changed from not requiring us to offer at least $1 in buyer agency compensation to not needing to offer it at all. So, I guess that's like the biggest change that we're dealing with right now is, being able to offer sellers to pay a slightly lower commission if they don't want to pay a full buyer agent commission. But we don't really know how that's going to affect the market yet in terms of the buyers who've been out shopping for the last year, haven't been able to find a home, and they've been expecting their buyer agent fee to be rolled into their purchase price. So to now be asked to come up with that money out of pocket, we're thinking we're probably going to see a lot of concessions on offers. But we haven't really seen too much of a change yet. It's still pretty much, typical 2 to 2.5% buyer agency compensation on the listings.
Okay.
So it'll be this summer when they, I believe they're going to be removing where you can show what you offer for buyer agent compensation, and it'll become strictly, you have to negotiate as a buyer agent what your fee is going to be, if any fee is going to be paid at all, like when you present your offer.
Sure. I know some agents are a little scared. They're, I talked to an agent on my way to Boston this weekend and stuff, and she was like, I don't know what's going to happen. And so that's why I asked.
Well, I'm not scared.
Yeah. No, you shouldn't be. So anything happening with, I know you flip houses. I know that you're also the host of a host on American Dream TV. Anything new happening with those?
Yeah. So actually not the last episode I did, but the one before that I did at the hot yoga spot in Bear Blends in Stuyvesant Plaza was just featured on the Travel Channel about 2 weeks ago, which was very exciting. And then I did one at Window Mountain with the Shred Foundation. And then we did a big fundraiser for them. They help the underserved youth in Newburgh and in Albany. They teach them how to snowboard, give them snowboard sets like the board, the boots, bindings, clothing, food, tickets.
Wow.
So we raised some money for them. And they're actually being aired a second time today. Well, today's March 26th, but on the New York City episode. So that's exciting. And we just found out that American Dream TV is going to be on HGTV. It'll be like, similar to the Travel Channel where it's like the best of the best episodes. So you won't know until you get picked if you're going to be on, but very exciting.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. I just saw that. I was doing some research on you, before the podcast. And I said, airing on HGTV this spring, which is amazing. And anytime you get TV time is phenomenal. Like it just helps your business. How have sales been? How was the real estate market looking? I know you're going to be doing a photo shoot today at like 4:00 for another property.
Yep, so the one I'm doing today is in Glenmont. It's actually another one of the flips, that I work on with my clients. So that's exciting. We did one yesterday in Albany, this beautiful, humongous Spanish colonial. It's on Western Ave. And I have another one in Latham tomorrow. So very busy. I think this week I'll have 3 new listings coming on. Depending on the dates. A couple of my clients with that big snowstorm we had, one couldn't finish cleaning because they're coming in from out of town. It's their parents' house. The other one was having somebody paint and they lost power, so they couldn't finish. So everything's been pushed out a little bit. So it might be 3 this week, 1 next week, and then I've got another 4 coming up after that. So very busy.
Right. Is this coming into your busiest season? I know you sell between like 50 and 75 properties a year, but what is your busiest time? Is it now?
I would say this is probably one of the busier springs that I've had. Usually it picks up a little bit later. March starts to pick up, but then April and May are very busy. And then I find that the fall is also very busy. there's kind of a lull in the summer because so many people are on vacation, the kids are out of school. And then as soon as the kids go back, it's almost like another spring market in the fall, which is great, for the end of the year. But yeah, definitely very busy this time of year.
One of the things I noticed, it's almost the same with every business, right? Like spring is great for comedy, summer's bad because everybody's like going out of town, they're going to camps or whatever, and then parents are like done with their kids by the end of summer, and then they want to go out and see a comedy show. So this past weekend, March is going out like a lion, right? And we had that. I don't know how much snow did you guys get down there?
In Del Mar, we got about 6 inches, but I know just a half an hour, 45 minutes north of here, they got over a foot.
Yeah, so I'm in the Utica area. We got about a foot of snow. So what was going on there? I was in Boston doing shows over the weekend. They got that equivalent in rain. Like literally streets flooded and stuff in Boston. And it was so funny because I'm driving back Sunday and I didn't see any snow. I saw a little bit of ice in the Berkshire areas, whatever. There was no snow until you hit the New York border. It was like Massachusetts Massachusetts was like, no, you're not coming.
The same with Connecticut. A friend was telling me they were coming back to New York from Connecticut. As soon as they hit the New York border, it turned from rain to snow.
It was absolutely crazy. I expected to see like the Berkshires, which are beautiful. And I expected to see snow, but there was nothing until you hit the New York border. I'm like, that is like, and the sign's like, welcome to New York. Yeah.
Well, that's what, even here, Saturday morning, I got up, there was maybe like an inch. I mean, it was hard to tell because it had started to rain and ice a little bit. And then it was just pouring out. And then at noon, I had a couple of appointments. I was out. It was like a little bit of rain, a little bit of sleet. And then I went in my last appointment. It was just raining. We came out and it was raining, icing, and snowing. And then by the time I got home, it was like 3:30, 4 o'clock. It had all turned to snow. And Del Mar, like a lot of people in Del Mar lost power. I like one street over from me, the whole neighborhood was out. I was very lucky. But yeah, there was, and it took them, because one of my clients that's getting ready to list, the one I was saying, they were here cleaning the house out. They lost power about an hour after I stopped there on Saturday. And they didn't get it back until yesterday afternoon.
Yikes.
Scary.
Yeah,
Scary with the temperatures being so low.
Yeah, it's, you can never predict like New York. I mean, everybody says, we have 2 seasons, winter and the 4th of July, but
yeah,
that's pretty much it. So you can expect, there's always a chance of snow right up until, like, I've seen it snow on Mother's Day in May. It's just nuts. But talk about, like, I'm interested with the flips, like how, how was that market going? Are there people like when you guys list them, do they sell pretty quickly? I imagine they do. I mean,
they do. The one that I'm actually doing a video on today, so I sold it before I could even put it on the market. I had another client who was looking to get into the Del Mar area, and they had a property to sell, which is very hard to buy and sell a property at the same time right now. So I was able to work something out with my seller on that property. So that they had a couple extra weeks so we could put their old house on the market, get them under contracts, and they'll be closing both of those in a couple weeks. So I am working on some videos of the flips, like from when we buy them to the process of buying them to what the finished product looks like. Sure. So that's why we're going to go over and do all the videoing over there today, so we still have it.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, I mean, they go so quickly, especially this particular guy that I work with. He does a very good job. All of his work is really nice. I can count on him if something little comes up at the inspection to take care of it.
Sure.
Which, not all flippers do that. I show plenty of houses that aren't my guys. And, you walk in, the cabinet drawer doesn't open because the stove's too big and something's not lined up right. Like it's just a very unfinished product. So these guys do a really great job, and they make it very easy for me to do my job.
No, it's awesome. I've been doing contracting when I'm not doing comedy and music and things like that. I just actually finished a tile job today. I did a shower, 3x3 shower, and I've done contracting for a lot of years, and I take a lot of pride in my work when people are like, oh my gosh, like I take pictures and people are like, that's amazing. Yeah, because I'm more meticulous than the customer is, for sure. Yep. So since we spoke last, I toured Texas, and I was in San Antonio.
Oh, wow.
In San Antonio, yeah, I did like Austin, I did Waco, and I did San Antonio. And San Antonio, I was talking to a friend of mine that I met down there, and by 2030 they're expecting like a boom of like 500,000 more people.
Oh,
so
wow.
There's construction everywhere. Are there any areas in the Albany area that are booming, that you see growth in, buildings and homes?
Well, I mean, a lot of the problem is that it's growing and booming here, but there isn't a lot of new construction.
Okay.
Before the pandemic, we were seeing a lot in Latham and Colony, which has really slowed down. There's one development going on in Glenmont right now, who I have a client who's buying in there, and they've been under contract for over a year at this point, and we had initially looked at it a year and a half ago. But just, getting through the process of getting the permits and getting everything approved by the town has taken a really long time. So I think that we're due for a boom of new construction, just because there isn't enough housing for everyone, but it's not here yet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So more people, no houses.
I'm sure it will be. It's a great area. I love the Albany area. People like, I'll go to Crossgates Mall. I like Colony Center because it's a little laid back a little bit, and they got an awesome Japanese, where you can get chicken and broccoli teriyaki. I don't know if you've ever been to that little Japanese little restaurant. They cook it right in front of you. It's really awesome. But yeah,
I like Colony Center too. But for a very different reason. Growing up, we would go to Macy's, the Macy's at Colony Center, which is a couple of stories. I think it's 3, but when I was a kid, it seemed like it was 10. It was so big, and they had all the Christmas decorations there. So it was just like my favorite place to go when I was Christmas time as a kid.
Was Crossgates around back then when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, it was, and it was half the size, and it was like I just remember that it was like brown flooring, and I think it was almost like tinted skylights on it. It was very different looking, because I remember I was a teenager when they built the new wing, and then they finally updated the old wing, and then I think they've made some changes since then. But
gotcha. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's big. I mean, we went to Destiny in Syracuse. Have you ever been to Destiny USA?
I haven't. No.
Oh my gosh, that mall is so huge. I think it's the second largest. Like, I think Minneapolis has the first largest mall. And then I believe Destiny is like the second largest mall in America.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you should just go there sometime. It's like
just go walk around.
I just go grab. Well, my daughters wanted to shop a little bit. My youngest daughter, she's a sophomore in high school, so she wanted to get a dress for formal. And I just said to my wife, please go with the girls. Let's grab Duncan. And I sat in a massage chair for 20 minutes, getting a massage for $5, and
I'm not a big mall person, so
I'm like, I just got back from Texas. I'm tired and all the good stuff. But so just want to wrap up session 3. We're going to be back with Rebecca again for another session. We're going to be talking about some more real estate stuff. I have some questions for you, but I'm just gonna show everybody how they can get a hold of you. She likes text better than calling her, so please text her 518-210-4916 or email her. She works for Gabler Realty, by the way. And I did some research on Gabler, and it's like you guys have about 20 something agents. Is that?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how many are in the office right now. Because people come and people go, but I think we're right around 20 right now.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were that big. I was like, oh, okay, that's impressive.
Yeah, I know when Judy first opened Gabler Realty, I think besides her, I think there were only 4, maybe 5 of us.
Yeah.
So definitely a lot of growth in the last few years.
Definitely, no doubt. So if you want to email Rebecca, I highly recommend her in the Albany district for to be your real estate agent. She's very experienced, and she's got a huge social media platform. So she gets houses sold. All right. And if you're looking to buy, hit her up, Rebecca at GablerRealty.com. It's up on the screen. And Rebecca, thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming on the show again. We'll be right back with another. We'll be right back with more messages, and then more of the show. Life and Homes. See ya.